Dexter, Original Sin Episode 7, The Big Bad Body Problem, returns to drop a huge villain twist that may divide spectators. After the discovery that the ice truck killer Brian Moser was keeping tabs on Dexter in Dexter Original Sin Episode 6, Episode 7 exposes an even bigger narrative twist. The primary antagonist of the series and the man who killed Jimmy Powell is Captain Aaron Spencer, portrayed by Patrick Dempsey, who is otherwise endearing. Dexter quickly resolves the cliffhanger from Episode 6, using his handy Miami Metro credentials to defend his presence at Tony Farrer's active crime scene. Even while Dexter's methods in Episode 7, like throwing Levi Reed's body into a public garbage in the middle of the day, are a little clumsy, the show is nonetheless engaging and largely creative. A significant portion of Harry and Laura's past is also covered in Episode 7, along with the arrival of Hector Estrada, another important Dexter killer. Deb keeps running into her high school nemesis and volleyball teammate, but she gets expelled from the team after going too far. For the first time, she also defends her brother, but in the process, she loses Sophia, her best friend. Although Dexter has always had luck, it comes a little too easy in Episode 7. In just a few minutes, his new girlfriend Sophia goes from angry to compassionate to furious, and he does nothing but watch. He uses a straightforward, deceptive ploy to persuade Angel to focus on finding Jimmy Powell's killer rather than investigating Tony Farrer's murder. A day after secretly feeding Farrer's limb to an alligator, Dexter even questions a room full of police officers about how they would conceal a body. Given the recent near miss with Mad Dog in Episode 4, all of this comes across as highly dubious and permits Dexter to play with fire a little too carelessly. Even though it's entertaining to watch Dexter fumble through his backstory, Episode 7 seems to let him off the hook far too often. The major Aaron Spencer expose in the episode also benefits from Dexter's conveniences. Tanya commends Dexter on spotting the clear blood stain on the exterior of the box that held Nikki Spencer's amputated finger. Dexter spots a hesitation cut that he deduces is a cunning attempt to show that Nikki and the abductor are acquainted. Episode 7's breadcrumb-following narrative advances quickly. Nonetheless, it does a good job of balancing the several subplots, such as Deb sabotaging Laura's Florida State future and Laura's first meeting with her eventual killer. In the first season of Original Sin, Aaron Spencer gave early indications that he would end up being the primary antagonist. To begin with, he was the only character associated with Judge Powell and had shown signs of frustration with his relationship with Becca, his ex-wife. Before the premiere had aired, he was already a prime suspect because every new character in Original Sin is likewise expected to leave at some time. It is not as stunning as the series makes it out to be that Spencer killed Jimmy Powell before abducting and dismembering his teenage son. Throughout Episode 7, Spencer asks a little too blunt questions, such as, "That's it. After Tanya finishes her blood analysis, is there anything else?" He is obviously trying to see if he has been exposed at that time. In addition to becoming performative and a little too direct, his numerous bulletin board meetings on Jimmy and Nikki gave us too much information too soon. Aaron's motivation and Dexter's goals for him remain the greatest mysteries surrounding his character, even though it is now clear that he is the primary kidnapper and murderer. Miami Metro would be permanently marred by the news of a police commander who had turned murderous. In order to protect Miami Metro's reputation, it will be intriguing to watch if Dexter steps in and frames Aaron's possible death as a crime or perhaps an accident. Before its mid-February finale, Dexter Original Sin still has a lot of unfinished business. Something needs to be made public about Gio, whose white knighting is probably going to ruin Deb's romance. Since it would be a huge retcon if the ice truck killer was on Dexter's radar in the prequel, his appearance might end up being limited to an Easter egg. There are also a number of anticipated character deaths, such as those of Harry, Laura, and Bobby, which may indicate that Dexter will look after Spencer in Episode 8, Business and Pleasure. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.